And hey everybody, welcome to a very special Big Brother 17 YouNow show right here on younow.com/reality recaps. If you guys want to see all of our Big Brother content, live feed flashback times, 24/7 updates, blogs, interviews with everybody that's been evicted this season, head over to yourrealityrecaps.com and check it all out there. Of course, if you guys are watching in YouTube, thumbs up and subscribe. That helps support our shows. If you're watching in iTunes, 5-star rating and a nice review is awesome too. Lastly, if you guys want to help support our shows, consider becoming a patron. That's a great way to do that. Now, before I bring in everybody's mom, who we all love, let me tell you two quick little things. If you guys want to leave a voicemail message for Steve's mom, it's not too late now. It's not. Go to yourrealityrecaps.com/bb17. You can still do that. Or you can tweet it to me at Reality Recaps. Use the hashtag YRRLive, and we will bring them up live. All right, chat room. All right, Big Brother fans, you guys are ready. It's the one. It's the only Steve's mom, Kathy.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Kathy. How you doing?
I'm good, Eric. Hey, chat room. It's great to be here.
They are thrilled they're all saying hi and they love you so much. And
okay.
They do. I think you kind of like have taken on like the mom figure for all of us Big Brother fans. And it's nice. Steve is like the every fan and you're like the every fan mom. And we love it.
Okay.
So before we get into questions, I'm going to make you feel even a touch more of that sentiment. I want to kick it off with a voicemail from Kim at Kim is Bored on Twitter, and here's what she has to say.
Hi, this is Kim from Kim is Bored. I just wanted to say to Kathleen that you raised an amazing boy, and you should be so proud of Steve. We all love him. That's all. Bye.
See, I told you, everybody loves them.
That is so sweet. I love hearing that.
So, how has it been for you watching Steve play this game?
The truth is, it's every emotion a person could have.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a lifelong dream for him to do this, so I'm so thrilled for him to have the chance. I'm so proud of how he's represented himself and played the game. At the same time, it rips your heart out on a daily basis to watch what's going on. I go through the entire roller coaster of emotions and I can't do anything to help. So it's just, I worry a lot. I follow the feeds, Twitter, everybody, your show, everything going on just to try to keep up with everything because it's really hard for the families, honestly. You know, they're real people there and we worry for sure. But I'm still proud of him, and I'm glad he's living his dream.
Well, it would be bad if you weren't proud of him. So you're on a good step number one. I mean, I can't imagine how hard it is for you guys to watch, like you said, almost in a helpless state. And especially, you know, being a mom, it has to be hard. But you're doing good. You're doing good, and the fans appreciate it. The fans appreciate you interacting with them. You're very positive to the fans, so I think that's pretty great. Okay,
that's important.
It is. It is so important.
Because Steve's a fan too, so you know.
As we know, shouts us out. Hi, Steve. Steve. We're on with your mom. When you watch this, Steve, it's your mom. Okay, and Steve, watch this. Speaking of your mom, here's the update for any of you guys that don't know. Hope this doesn't block you out too much for 1 second. So for those of you guys that don't know, Vanessa's HOH, the noms are obviously Steve and Johnny Mac, but then Johnny won POV, removed himself, and Austin went up. So, how is it for you watching? Can you give us any more in-depth into what maybe you think Steve is thinking? I've kind of said it seems like everybody's out for themselves at this point, except for Austin and Liz. It seems like everybody's just trying to go week to week. And I was shocked last night watching Johnny Mac basically say, I got no problem getting rid of Steve. I was like, really? So what is your thought on that?
Well, just before we went to air, I was kind of following the feeds, and probably the people in the chat room are even more up to date on this.
Mm-hmm.
But he told Steve everything he said to Vanessa and why he said it. And so that, and Steve actually congratulated John and truly convincing her that they are not a pair and they don't have each other's back, and he's happy to vote him out.
Mm-hmm.
So what John basically told Steve is that you need to go to Vanessa and have her do the convincing to kind of, so it's not me saving you, it's her saving you, so we're not seen as a pair. So he's actually trying to protect both of them. And so hopefully Steve will go to Vanessa and Vanessa will take the needed steps, because she kind of figured out, I think, that Austin talked her into keeping him when it probably wasn't in her best interest for her game to keep the showmance in the game at this point. So I know that Vanessa's kind of gone oops on the choice that she made. So I think it's possible that he could be saved and this could happen. At the same time, John's got to look out for himself, and he doesn't want to have the Oz twins both mad at him if he votes out Austin. So I can see the spot that he's in. And I can also see when Vanessa got all those warnings, you've got to talk to Johnny Mac, you've got to, shore up his vote because it's not a sure thing. He didn't necessarily believe her. I think he does now because Johnny's outed the whole thing, but I think there was trust issues earlier in the game with Vanessa, so I can see where there was a concern.
Yeah.
So that's where it is right now.
Right. I love that you brought it all full circle for us, because that's what we were, like a few hours ago, we were live, none of this had happened, and that's what we were talking about. So I love that we have the update. And yes, I'm so happy to know that that was what Johnny Mac was doing, because I couldn't make any sense out of it in my mind at all.
Steve called it brilliant. That was his word to John. Brilliant.
It is. It was brilliant. And I mean, okay, but there's a little part of me that is like, I get that Johnny Mac told him all of the details and everything he said. I just hope Johnny Mac is not playing him, though, still in doing that, if that makes sense.
Well, I kind of think, though, that John never forgot who voted him out and who put him up.
Mm-hmm.
That was Austin.
Right.
And the thing is Austin's lied as much as anybody through the whole game, and I think John's got to know that,
right,
and take into account when he offers to throw the next HOH or whatever crazy promises Austin's throwing out.
Mm-hmm.
I think John is maybe smart enough to take that with a grain of salt and to take into account that he probably won't keep any promise he makes to Johnny Mac. So I hope John is thinking that way, and I hope Vanessa realizes the spot she's in. And I think it's best for both Vanessa and John just taking a step back. Yes, it's best for Steve if they keep him, of course, but I think it's best for their game, too, to break up that showmance. It's a real messy mess for the end of the game, and it's never happened before. So I hate to think, because Austin says I could vote out Liz. He won't do it.
Mm-mm.
He won't, because her family would be very angry with him, and she would, too. He can't. I don't care what he says to Vanessa or John or anybody else, he's not going to do it. And I was really kind of disappointed in Austin practicing his speech, saying, Steve, horrible things to him, like, oh, you're just a big liar and it comes full circle and you don't have your mommy here to protect you. And this is his plan for the eviction night. I'm like, are you kidding me? I just felt really bad about that.
Okay. Oh my God. There's so many things I want to touch upon now about what you just said. Let's start here. How are you going to be towards Austin when you see him?
Well, he and Liz just said the other day that he wasn't fake being mean to Steve or making fun of him the first few weeks in the game. He said that it was real.
Okay.
And Austin is supposedly a wrestler who is against bullying, and it's something important to him. So I think I would say to Austin, after you have a chance to take a look at what actually happened in the game, let's make a plan here to actually go public and find a way to actually stop bullying.
Brilliant.
And make an example out of this.
Right. That's brilliant. I think that's exactly what he should do. And there were several other Big Brother players like Shelly Moore, a lot of people that are Big Brother players that are vocal against bullying. There's a lot of good that they could all do if they got together on it. That's actually a really good idea. I like that idea.
And, not to bring up Jace, but I got to tell you, Jace and I have talked quite a bit since he left. And I don't think I'm really upset with anything that happened with Jace. I think they were truly friends. I don't think, I mean, I did watch, of course, like everybody else did, the 18 minutes of talking, but I think Steve was okay with it. I think he's strong. I don't think, quote unquote, needs his mom. You know, I think he's shown himself to be strong in the face of a lot of that. But I think Jace genuinely likes Steve and cares about him. And so I think, you know, maybe Jace would be on board with trying to help with some of the anti-bullying too. In fact, I know he would, because he's just a great guy.
I love Jace. Jace has been on a few times and 100% love Jace.
I love Jace too.
What do you have to say to the people, like, kind of going on to that bullying thing? Because a lot of people say, you know, Steve is socially awkward, like, almost, they compare him to Ian. I mean, I don't necessarily think that I would say Steve is socially awkward. I just think that's like his personality. Like like people would say I'm socially awkward type of a thing. Like people say it to me all the time. That's why we're doing the show from home. I don't like being outside. But, you know, like, is there anything that you want to say about that? Because I see people saying that all the time about Steve, like socially awkward.
Well, he labeled himself that way. So I'm not uncomfortable with it. I mean, it was in his intro. First night he was on the show, he said, you know, if you're interested in getting to know a socially awkward engineer, I'm your guy. So I think that he's really done beautifully socially. I mean, I think he's knows his strengths and weaknesses, and he's really tried to not give up reaching out to people. And I think he's always tried to be kind and respectful to everybody.
Right.
And I think that goes a long way, especially over the long term. Maybe not as much in the short term when people don't quite know how to take him. Like in the beginning, people thought he was a rat, he was a sneak. But as a matter of fact, he never told anybody anything.
Right.
So he never repeated things, and he never did that. But it was a perception because he didn't quite know how to enter a room. But he kind of learned how to enter a room, and he kind of learned how to fit in and be more comfortable. He played potball. He did all the things going on in the house. He didn't shy away from going to the hot tub or the pool or participating. So I think he has definitely grown in the game because this is the first time in his life he's really taken the time to be social. Right. He always feels like he's got to go study or practice or do an assignment or something. And in the game, you don't have to. And you can't actually. So it's perfect. It really gave him a chance to kick back and figure it out.
Definitely. I honestly think that people sometimes mistake socially awkward for busy or doing a lot of things and having a lot of, you know, I just feel like really smart people, and maybe because I'm labeled one too, are what people like to call socially awkward, but good. I think we've seen Steve grow up, just like you said, a lot in this game. One of my favorite funny photos, and I wish I had it now to pull up, is like the side-by-side of Steve when he first came into the house, and he's like, Steve! And then the split one where it's that diary room where he has like the full beard, and he's like, and he's like, and it's like, 2 months in the Big Brother house really changed Steve or whatever. And it's true. He has changed so much, but it's funny. I like him. My favorite thing is his pacing and the dancing and the talk. That's my favorite. I want a whole show just to that. People think I'm kidding when I say it.
Well, he knows the feedsters are out here, so he really, I would like him to speak to us even more, of course, but I appreciate that he does, and we get a little bit more insight into what he's thinking.
Yeah. I don't understand why more people don't do that. I don't understand why more, especially super fans like Steve, don't spend more time talking to us, the feeders.
Well, today, Austin and Liz were making comments about him being in the backyard talking to the cameras, you know, and making fun of him for it. So, you know, it's a risk. Makes you seem different.
True.
You know, because it looks like you're talking to yourself, although he probably is doing that too, but he's talking to us.
Right. Well, and I'll again say, my teachers told me in school that when you talk to yourself, it's a sign of intelligence because you're repeating it back to yourself so that you can remember.
Well, I totally agree with you then, Eric.
Right. I sing to myself, so That's what I like, putting on a musical, like washing the dishes, stuff like that.
He
Whatever.
does music all the time.
Oh,
It's really hard not to have it in the house, for sure.
I'm sure it is hard for him not to have an outlet like that at all. Okay, so actually, let me tell everybody this first, because I see all of you guys in the chat room saying it. If you guys, yes, want to, use your thumbs up. If they're free, you don't gotta pay for them. If they're free, if you have your free thumbs up, use them. That helps support us. And click that megaphone and the square up arrow to tweet out and tell everyone you're live with us and Steve's mom and show the whole world that we're all here. Nikki Cochran on Twitter wants to say that, let me see, now I'm getting old, I can't read things anymore. I just wanted to tell Kathy that she's adorable, and I love how Steve talks so lovingly about her.
Oh, thanks.
Now,
Thanks, Nikki.
Now, here's what I want to say on that note. Was he fake crying with your phone call, with your video message? I was like, don't get me wrong.
I'm not sure.
Oh, go ahead.
You know, I saw people on Twitter kind of were split 50-50 on that. And I think he might have wanted to cry more and felt like he should. And he was glad to see me.
Right.
But at the same time, I think he's super duper in game mode. And I think at this point in the game, they've been there a long time.
Right.
So I think, your brain kind of goes a different way.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure if it was fake or not. I'll ask him when I see him, but I'm not sure. That's a good question.
Because he did do that earlier in the game when he was like, half real, half not. I wouldn't want to see family at all because I know that would break me down in this game. I wouldn't want to be. I would be trying to block it out. So maybe that is what he was doing in that moment.
At the same time, he knows I'm a super fan too.
I
mean, we've been on this journey together from the beginning. So since he was a little boy, so I think that he knows I get what's going on. I get it.
I saw him the other night. My favorite thing when they talk about when the show's over, finale, all stuff like that, Steve always says, well, the first thing that's going to happen is my mom's going to yell at me for an hour, and then I'll be allowed to do stuff with you guys. So are you going to yell at him for an hour when you first see him? He hasn't done anything bad.
Of course not. I have had some communication with some former house guests.
Right.
And I've gotten some advice on really how to be and what to be and everything. So my plan is to just kind of hold him. I probably will have a hard time letting him go, but I'm just going to tell him I love him and I'm very proud of the game that he played, and I'm so happy he's back in my life again. I don't think I'm going to talk about game at all. I will tell him, though, that he's very worried that he's not liked, and people are very upset, particularly that he put the Oz twins and then the twins on the block.
Yeah.
So I think I will reassure him that your move, putting up Jackie, probably worked very well for your game because it was the first, shot at the goblins and showed loyalty to the Scampers. But at the same time, I think he's the vote to put Jackie out hurt him.
Right.
But at the same time, I think that the Oz twins obviously didn't. And I think I'm going to reassure him that you're not hated. I mean, there may be some haters out there, of course, probably for every house guest, but he's not hated. So I think that's probably the only thing I'll really tell him, that you have a lot of fans and there are a lot of people who love you.
I'll say this. I'll say it's going to be great having it be reassured from you. Trust me, if I had to guess, there are going to be people debriefing him on everything before he has to go do interviews. But also, I'm going to tell Steve I hate him for that double elimination. What was he thinking on the... That's my only flaw. And I get it's a game, and I don't know what's going on in Steve's brain.
The only thing I have for you is two things. They did show, even on the TV show, they showed the clip of Vanessa planting the seed about Jackie being after him earlier.
Right.
And she was the goblin that he had the least game talk or any talk with.
Right.
So that's why he targeted her, because he knew the least amount of where she was at. He actually meant to throw that HOH, so it's so bizarre he won it, but I think that's how he explained it in his HOH blog as well. He really talked to her the least, knew the least about her game, and had the least connection with her.
Right.
I mean, I loved when they danced together on the prom night, and I actually like Jackie a lot too. And I can understand Jackie fans being really sad about it. And
look, here's all I'm gonna say. A, America loves him for putting up Austin and Liz, number one. Number two, even Steve could go into the camera right now and be like, I hate all of you, you're all devils, and all the live feeders suck. I don't even think that would be bad at this point. You got the Austin and the twins and everybody as big meat shields that are going to take all the hate. Steve is coming out of this like, hi everybody. He's good is what I'm saying. I don't think Steve has anything to worry about. Everybody loves Steve.
Well, he thinks that America, he's been convinced by Austin that America truly loves the twins and him, of course. And, you know, he put them on the block. And he's the only one who had the guts to do it. So
I'll believe it when I hear him say it in a DR. I think Steve is smart enough to know in Big Brother, when you think you're the good guys or you think you're loved, you're not. And I think Steve knows that.
He's been in there a long time, and
true. And
Austin is always building up the twins, how great they are, and he hears it, you know, all the time. And
well, what?
And I thought he had a cute relationship for a while with Julia, but
I think his relationship with the twins is true. I think he really has that genuine relationship.
Not anymore, though. They hate him now, but
well, he had it on his end. I think it was genuine.
On his end, yes.
I think they are. Whatever. Well, all right. So speaking of friends, Chili Dog wants to know: do you think Steve and Johnny Mac will be friends after the show?
Wow. Before the veto comp on Saturday, I would have said absolutely. You know, I'd even, because it's only like a few hours to drive him to Scranton to pull his wisdom teeth. I was thinking we'll just go to Scranton, let Johnny take a shot at the teeth.
No.
But I think a lot depends on how this all plays out. I mean, how at least he told Steve what he told Vanessa. I feel really good about that. Even if he ends up voting him out, it's not going to be a ha-ha blindside,
right?
You know, on his part. And, you know, I respect it if it's a game, because I get that it's a game, and I respect his decisions. So I guess it depends how this week plays out, the rest of the game plays out. I don't know.
I'm going to say my vote is, no matter how the rest of this game plays out, I think they're going to be friends. I think they both get it's a game. And I think even if they try and cut each other's throats to move forward, I think they'll still be fine. Where I'm saying for you as his mom, you're watching Johnny Mac. Do not let that man touch his face. He'll be like, there'll be like drills. He'll like cut his cheek. He's way too jerk. You don't want, I'm telling you, don't do it. You don't want him.
I noticed his hands shaking on
yes.
the eggs.
But is that who you want coming at your son's face with a needle or a drill? No. Kidding.
No. I think he's probably a very good dentist. I mean,
I'm sure he is.
You know, I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is. I just don't, the only concern I have is that when they were on the block against each other, I thought it was one of the more respectful times I've ever seen two people go against each other. I mean, they played their game, but it was respectful. It
was. It totally was. Yet, it was very respectful, but at the same time, I was almost confused by it. Like, and I understand, they both needed to play their game, and then Johnny came back in, it was like, up, and we picked right back up where we left off. Like, there was no animosity there at all. Like, yep, you had to send me out, you made your play, I made my play, but I'm back, let's get Vanessa out. I loved it, which is why I don't think, no matter what happens going forward, I think they both get it's a game, they're gonna be friends after.
Well, what got me concerned is when he said to Vanessa, made the comment something like, yeah, let's just blindside him or something like that. And it sounded kind of malicious and mean, and I was like, whoa. But it turns out that was just all part of his persona to fake Vanessa out, that they're not together.
Was it? Okay, I know I have a bad memory, so I probably shouldn't even go with I'm 100% on this, but I did just watch this conversation recently. I feel like Vanessa was the one that led with that. I feel like Vanessa was like, let's not tell Austin at first, clearly because she didn't want
Right, that's
the
true.
blood on her hands, and then it kind of spiraled into going into Steve. So,
Right.
what are your thoughts on Vanessa? Do you enjoy the type of game she's playing? Do you not? That's my answer.
It's so hard to be objective
Right.
because, as Steve said, she's very good.
Right.
And she's able to convince a lot of people to do stuff that isn't in their best interests.
Right.
So I have to respect that, but at the same time, sometimes it's so emotional and hard, it gets to me.
I know.
That's all.
I couldn't, again, I would never do Big Brother because I would never want to put my family through what you must be going through. So I completely get it. All right, then let's say, a lot of people want you to know how much they love you. I think the general consensus of chat room is they love you. They love Steve. I can't even keep up with all of the, we love you, we love Steve, America loves Steve, we think he's
Thank
playing the
you.
best game ever. You have
It will mean everything to him if the fans support him, and it means everything to me too. And thank you, because obviously I love him, and I hope you do too.
Mm-hmm. Well, so then you're going to vote for Steve for America's favorite player then, right?
I absolutely will.
Do you want to make a pitch for him? Go ahead. I'll let you make your pitch. Everyone, this is why we should vote for Steve for America's player. I'm putting you on the spot. Go
Oh my
ahead.
gosh. I think he's played a really good game because he's thrown comps when he needed to.
Mm-hmm.
He's won them when he needed to. He's made some very good alliances, and he was smart enough to not be the main target of those alliances, stayed a little bit on the outside of them. So when people went to the heart of the alliance, he wasn't the heart of it.
Right.
He has been, at the same time, respectful of other people's game and of other people all the way through the game while playing his good game. I think to be able to do both and to be able to be a good person
Mm-hmm.
and respectful even while you do what you got to do, I think says a lot for who he is.
Well, we're all going to start that campaigning. I have a feeling, if I had a guess, that might start in about 5 days. Officially. We'll see. That's my guess. My crystal ball.
Well, you know, if he was even second or third, he would be so thrilled just to even place.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't win the money, but I think if he made the fans happy, I think he would. I mean, I know he really wants to make the fans happy. He's trying to. I mean, that's why he talks to us.
I know.
He really cares.
Yes, I completely agree. Here's a great question from Archon72 on Twitter, who says, why do you think Steve was so annoyed with Becky, which we all thought was hilarious? And I know I have my theory on it, and it's that I think he was kidding. I think he understands it's a television show, and he was trying to play it up and be funny. But why do you think he was so vocal about being anti-Becky?
Well, when he did it in the DR during that one HOH comp, I know he was trying to be funny because, you know, he doesn't want to just be this sweet, innocent kid. That's his gameplay. But he's a regular guy, and, you know, the naive, clueless child he tried to play the game as isn't really who he is. So I think he wanted to give us a glimpse of maybe who he really is sometimes. And, you know, so I think during the HOH comp, the comments there were kind of that. And I think she wasn't particularly kind to him.
Mm-hmm.
I think some of the other people weren't either, but they were sneakier about it. I think she was more in your face with not liking him, or, you know, kind of being,
right.
Can't find the right word, but
no,
not enjoying his company so much. And I think also, you know, he was kind of cutting in on Johnny Mac a little bit, and I don't think he liked that either.
You know, I have to also tell you that you're getting a lot of future daughter-in-laws in the chat. There's a lot of people that want you to know Steve is their future husband. Cupcakes for Lily, for one. I've seen a lot of people saying it. So you got a lot
He's got a lot of proposals and all kinds of stuff.
No, okay, that's a great point. I want to know the answer to this question too. Because, see, this is where I think Steve is tricky, and I cannot wait to talk to that boy. Okay. There are times when he broke my heart in that house, when he is like, I didn't have any friends, and nobody really. I don't want to say nobody really liked me. He just made it seem like I was very alone. I was very alone. I was like, oh my God, Steve, I love you so much.
It's
Then,
kind of true.
well,
I'm going to tell you,
go
when he
ahead.
was at Cornell, he had friends in his fraternity his first 2 years in college,
Okay.
and it worked out pretty well. But when he did the transfer to go into sound audio engineering, when he transferred, it was much harder for him to make friends. And I think his first year there, or 2 years, really, the first year in particular, he was a little lonely. I think he did have some trouble connecting with people and finding his place.
So, okay. First, I just made a note that now we're officially endorsing Steve. Audio engineer is exactly what we need here at Reality Recap. So it's official. Steve for America's favorite player, hands down. Boom, stamp of approval. So has Steve, because the second part of my comment was, then like weeks later, I always hear Steve being like, I was so popular in high school and my girlfriend and this. And I'm like, wait a minute, Steve, are you tricking me? But now I get what you're saying. So it was kind of the transition in college.
Well, there's more to it than that, Eric, because when he was in high school, he spent all of his time studying, working,
Right.
Practicing his music. He was in the theater musicals, and he just worked. And when other kids were socializing or having fun, he was rewriting a paper or practicing an instrument.
Right.
And the kids did come to respect him. He was one of the voted class speakers at his high school graduation, because I think the kids learned to respect him. But I think in high school he was somewhat lonely too. I think, the fraternity helped at Cornell. I think that was really the only time he felt like he had connections beyond his family, because he's very close with his family.
Right. Well, clearly as close to the that you can tell that you guys as his family are his heart. Well, I'm not feeling that. I'm going to talk to Steve. I cannot wait to see what Steve says about this as a fellow beat up every day in high school and then came into my own in college. I relate to Steve and what he's saying. He's so funny. I just try and figure him out all the time. I'm like, oh, are you really playing up the innocent? Or
well, he is doing that too. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Obviously when he's asked people to repeat that,
Right.
I mean, sometimes it is trying to be that innocent, naive child, because we love Ian. Steve and I both do, but we are very afraid of the comparisons, of course. With the season Ian won, he was like, darn,
Mm-hmm.
That's going to make it 10 times harder for me when my season comes.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think Steve is, I see why people make the comparison, but I think they're on two completely different levels. A lot of people want to know, a lot of people are asking this question. I don't know how, obviously I know for a fact you wouldn't be able to answer it as yes or no, but I'll say this. What do you have to say about all the people that want to know, was there code in that HOH letter? Because, Vanessa all the time on the feeds is like, there's code in everything. Austin was cheerleading with his gay friends and the picture was upside down. So that means his family is saying, stick with the gay in the house. And, I know that's ridiculous that there would be code in So, can you tell everyone that's ridiculous?
It is ridiculous. I wrote from my heart. My husband wrote from his heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I spoke when I was on the show on Thursday night. That was just from my heart. I didn't even think about that. And I figured the letters would be edited anyway, so why even try?
Right, and it's so hard. We love joking around about the code, and I love, ever since Vanessa got on board with everything has a code, I've been playing up the code jokes. So I think it's very funny, but
it's at least for me and for my husband, whose 2 letters he got on his 2 HOHs, there was nothing. Nothing in the video thing either.
Well, yeah, it would be too hard. You would never be able to do it successfully. Chat room is saying your letter was so touching. They loved it. They see how much you love Steve.
I do.
So they are all loving it. Steve Shrug 650 said Steve has been complaining that he's been sick lately. Are you worried about him? I didn't hear him say he was sick lately.
Well, what it is that
the nerve
like
thing.
his mom.
Is that
Like
what?
his mom, he gets sick to his stomach if he's nervous.
Yep.
That's
I
it.
Another reason I would not be able to play Big Brother. I'm right there with you, Steve. I'm right there with
Well,
that.
that's why I'd always wanted to apply, and now I'm thinking maybe not.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I give much respect to anybody that can pull that off. Who do you think, chat room wants to know, if it came down to Steve and Vanessa as the final two, do you think Steve has a chance to beat out Vanessa?
Yikes. I don't know.
I think he
It
does.
depends on, like, it helps Steve that the fact that Jackie blamed Vanessa for her eviction, but at the same time, it could hurt Steve that she credits Vanessa with the eviction. So she's going to get a lot of credit for who's sitting there. They might not like it, they might be mad at her, but they might respect it. Depends on how bitter the jury is, actually.
And I don't think they're gonna be a bitter jury. And I will say this. If there is anybody, and I have said it, if there's anybody that has a chance to beat out Vanessa, I think it's only one person, and I think it's Steve. I think he's the person who will be able to articulate the best response to whatever she says if she goes first, type of a
I
deal.
can tell you this, he's already thinking about what he's going to say, for
Right.
sure.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And he's making his case against all of them, whoever he might end up against.
I've noticed. That's why I've noticed nobody else is, which is why I say I think Steve has the best chance of beating Vanessa. But I also think they also both know that. I think Steve doesn't buy that Vanessa's like, oh, there's no way I'm going to come in any more than second place. I don't think Steve buys that for a second.
No,
and I think
doesn't.
Vanessa is terrified of him in the mental comps at the end. That's what scares me.
He's starting to convince her he's taking her, so he's already told us he was going to take John, so
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he'll change his mind, but if he has the option.
So here is another great question. It's from Miwa Honda on Twitter, and she wants to know, what did you think of the zing Steve got from the Zing bot?
I thought it was awesome. I loved it.
You did love it. Okay. I liked it. I liked the Zingbot Steve, the Zingbot Zing.
He said bring it, and so they brought it. I mean,
They did. Well, now, so then on that same note, here's another great kind of comment from Clubby on Twitter, who says, were you a band mom? Because I made lifelong friendships of parents when I was in band, and it was really inspirational.
well, I can say yes to that, but I was also the band director.
Oh,
I was Steve's band director
really?
and his music teacher, yes.
Okay. I have a confession to make. This will help me. Like, this is like the 10-step program to my life. I was in band all the time, too, when I was in school. And
Woohoo!
I didn't know how to read music, so I did this. And I got away with it. Clarinet. I was clarinet. Every recital, everything. This was me. Never played. Just doing this and doing my cheeks. I didn't like
That's
it.
hilarious.
I didn't like it because I didn't understand how to read music.
Right.
And so be careful if there's kids in there tricking you. Look for it. Listen for the sound. I don't know how my band teacher never figured it out, but that's how I played. Oh, look, chat room apparently did that too. Hey.
Well, they weren't my band. That's all I can say.
Okay. Jody, in the chat room, I see you keep asking the same question over and over about what Kathy thinks of Vanessa. We already went over that. Watch it back. Go back later. We're going to keep moving forward. She really wants to know what you think about Vanessa, unless you have anything else you want to add.
I do like her. I just have to say that.
Yeah, that's good.
She's had some nice personal connections with Steve at times during the game, and I liked it.
Yeah, I think a lot. I'm hoping that when Vanessa gets out of this game, she will instantly switch into I'm out of game mode. I'm not the biggest, I'll be honest, I'm not at all a Dan fan. I don't like Dan's like, oh, I drop my morals out the door and come in and blah, blah, blah. I don't like that. But I kind of have a feeling that's the way Vanessa's playing this game, and I hope when it's over, she's like, good game, I want to do good for everybody, the fans, the people in the house. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping. She is a poker player, though. Poker player! She could be bad. She could be bluffing, is what I'm saying. A lot of people want to know, Leah is the beast for one in the chat room, wants to know, what do you think about the swearing in the house? I'm only asking because I see this a lot in the chat room already.
What a way to bring that up, Leah. Okay, that's the thing that surprised me the most about Steve in the house. That's not how he's ever been in his real life. And I've noticed it creeping up more and more and more throughout the season. So we're going to have to do something about that maybe when he comes home.
Well, first of all, I don't think I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever heard Steve swear in the house, but you of all people should know that house is not real life. Don't let those, it's a world that doesn't exist.
I know.
So
it's a TV show in a parking lot.
It's a TV show in a parking lot, and it's what he has to do to fit in with these rude, vulgar people. He's got to fit in with Austin somehow. It's the only language Austin understands, so it's how he has to communicate with them.
Ooh, okay.
Allegedly. Big Brother Eats says, would you tell Steve that Austin and the twins were talking badly about him behind his back?
Won't have to. He'll know.
Yeah, I think he will know. I think they'll totally tell him that.
Well, he'll watch everything back. So
yeah.
he'll know.
Oh, I wonder how long, you think I should know this, but I don't. I wonder how long they keep the feeds up for you to flashback for. Can you, have a while? I feel like it's maybe a week or two after the season ends before they pull all the flashbacks, or, the ability to flashback. That's what I would want to know more than anything. I would want to watch, every minute. I wouldn't want to just watch the shows. But we'll see what happens. Right. I hope Steve does it the way that I've heard a lot of Big Brother people do it, whereas you watch it backwards. Hopefully this won't be a problem for Steve and he'll win. But a lot of people say when you get evicted, you should start with that episode and watch backwards so you, end on the happy moment of, yay, I came into the house, instead of watching forwards.
That's a good point.
I love that. I love the, people that have said they've done that. BB Ghost wants to know on that point in the chat room, have you been DVRing the show for Steve every week?
Yes.
Yes, that is good. You have to do it. A lot of people are saying they've enjoyed watching Steve grow up this summer. They say that he's done a whole lot. What are your thoughts? Thanks. This is from one of Steve's future wives. Would like to, or wife potentials, would like to know, what are your thoughts on Steve's new look? And there you go. P.S. Steve's my future husband. So do you feel like he's changed up his look, and do you like it? Stefan, if you will, versus Steven.
The haircuts are cool, and, the outfits and the clothes. I'm not a big fan of the facial hair.
Oh,
That's just me. My sisters love it.
They do?
So, I think his sister likes it too, but not me.
I like it. Well, look, really, not even when you watch him, we're not talking Austin. We're not talking what Austin has going on. We just like the nice. I like it with the nice.
I'm just not into that with, sorry, Eric, it's not my thing. It just.
All right. So we're not going to date. Fine. I guess it's not meant to be. Please block Carly is spam. All right, Carly, hold on. We got one person spamming chat, annoying everybody, but we got it, and they're gone. Thanks, chat room. We only have about 5 or 6 minutes left, and then we have to end it because the show's starting, and we got a live tweet. I know some of you, the show is starting at 7:30 for some of you. 8:30 for some of you. It's starting at 8 for me, and I'm not sure what time it's starting for you over there. Is it starting at 8 for you? Or 8:30?
Me? I'm not sure.
You're not sure? Okay. Okay. J-Man wants to know, I'm curious as to why Steve hated James most of the season when James was the most genuine to Steve. Do you feel like he hated James most of the season?
No, he loved James. He thought he was funny. He enjoyed his jokes. He put the honey in his mouth. He congratulated him, saying when he scared him behind the door. He and Steve had a pretty fun connection. I mean, he put Steve up week 1. So,
right.
Maybe, but I don't really think that there was a problem personally between them.
I don't feel like there was either. I don't feel like anybody this season really had any beef between them. I mean, coming off other seasons, I feel like this cast all gets along great. I feel like they all like it. They all tell each other their plans. Like, we're going to do this. Oh, you got me. Oh, well, all right. Well, next week. You know, they're all seem fine. There's no real line in the sand where two sides of the house hate each other. I unfortunately think the only things that were really bad this season happened to Steve, with Vanessa, you know, getting in his face that one day, you betrayed me.
Well, she believed Liz, and I can't believe she believed Liz that Steve came up with that idea to go after her. It's the most bizarre thing, you know. She's supposed to be able to read people, and if Liz told her that in the bathroom and she went right after Steve, it was weird.
It was very weird. But see, then I think, did Vanessa, because then we saw, she was like, good, now people think that we're not really working together.
Yeah, so it's hard to know.
It's hard to know.
Her HOH blog, she doesn't tell us anything. She's going to write a book after, so we don't really know what she's thinking.
Well, she says she's going to write a blog after. I made the same mistake. I thought she was writing a book, too, because everyone told me book.
Blog? So she'll tell us her actual gameplay on the blog.
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. You know, some Big Brother people like to make a buck after. He might be one of those people.
It's not where Steve is at all.
That's why I'm saying I hope. Oh, believe me, I know that's not where Steve is. I can't wait till Steve gets out. We have so much to talk about. Huts Z407 says, we know Christine is Steve's favorite BB house guest. Who is your favorite BB? Oh my God, really? We'll hook that up in 2 seconds. Who is your favorite house guest, though, Kathy, besides, you know, not Steve? After Steve, who's your favorite house guest?
Wow, that's a good question. It's so hard to say. Oh, gosh, I like Johnny Mac. I like James.
Okay.
Jace.
What if we said not this season? What if we said last season? Who is your favorite house guest? I'll take Christine off the table.
I called Derek week 1.
Oh, did you? Yeah. How could you not? Derek
knew he was going to win.
Yeah.
Knew it right out of the gate. Usually I call it the second week or something, but Derek was week 1.
Now, did you call Steve when you watched this season? Just because...
It was so weird. I couldn't do it. It was like I couldn't pick. Of course, I wanted him to win, but I couldn't look at the season objectively like all the other seasons. I couldn't do it.
Right. I would imagine that would be...
Because I called Andy week 2 when he won.
Oh, really? Interesting. I think the only person I've ever called correct was Derek. And
Yeah.
we'll see what happens with this season.
Who'd you call this year?
Oh, not Steve. Vanessa.
Yeah.
Vanessa.
I can see that. I mean,
And only because I was taking a stab. I wasn't doing it by personality or gameplay at all. We did preseason cast assessments with Danielle Reyes, and my thought was,
love her.
she's the best, and she loves
Danielle
Steve.
Reyes is the best.
And she loves Steve. She was Team Steve all the way. I almost want to say she picked Steve. I picked Vanessa simply because I think Big Brother would want a female winner this go round, so that knocked all the guys off for me without even trying. And then I was kind of trying to go with women from that. So that's really my only reason why I went with
Well, I can see
Vanessa.
that, though, being a good choice, for sure.
Yeah.
Still could happen.
It still could happen. I would say Steve is definitely my boy pick to win, and James was my pick for America's favorite player, but I think that's going away. I think look, if Steve can keep making these moves, if Steve keeps holding things together, and if he is going to be behind, if Steve gets Vanessa out, he won, as far as I'm concerned. if he makes that move, that's going to be great. But it's also going to be in America's eyes. If Steve and Johnny Mac, we see them working together right now this week to get Austin out, I have a feeling that's going to like seal a huge amount of votes for him with America and America's favorite player.
I agree with you.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I think it is going to be beautiful. Well, we need to wrap it up so we can go get to live tweeting Big Brother over here.
Of course.
But thank you for coming on. Thank you. Oh, this is a great question too. And I will say your answer I'm going to put below this video archived. Miss Don Draper wants to know, is there a P.O. box or anything set up where people can send fan mail to Steve?
No, but I'm going to set something up. We do have Twitter at Geek Squad McGee1.
Right
and
below
also
there.
it's on there, and he also has an official fan page on Facebook.
And what's that?
Just Steve Moses official fan page.
Okay, perfect. And we'll put the links below this video as well, so you guys can just click on them. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. We'll, when Steve is in the final two, I think we'll have you come back on and we'll do one more assessment of, wasn't that so funny when it was final 5 and it was all that chaos? Now Steve's in final 2. Sound like a deal?
I hope you're right. And thank you to all of Steve's fans. Thank you. We are very, very grateful for your support. Thank you. And thank you, Eric, for having me on today.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. I will see you over on Twitter in a little bit.
Okay, thanks.
All right, bye for now. Alrighty, I'm hanging up. They can't see you, but I'm hanging up and I'll message you in a minute. All right, everybody. So I hope you guys loved that show. Don't forget, become a fan if you are not. If Big Brother is not starting right away for you guys, I believe Audrey and Clay are live right now, giving stuff away and doing stuff. You can check that out. But 100% become a fan. We're going to have more people on. Audrey and Clay will be on with us next week. I probably will be back on after the show tonight, so you don't want to miss it, but you will if you don't become a fan. So click on the thing up there, down there, wherever. I love you guys. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys liked it. 4,040 fans! We did it! Yay! We did it, everybody! We did it with Steve's mom. And don't make that awkward, but you know what I mean. We did it with the Steve Mom Show! Yeah! What? I can't believe we did it! Oh my god. We're taking over the world? Reality Recap's taking over the world? I love you guys. It's because of you. I don't know why. Who's thanking me? I'm thanking you all because you made it happen. I love you guys so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you for watching. I was letting her talk. I know I didn't get to a ton of questions, but I feel like she was given the good info, and I was kind of going with the general questions I think we all had. I think we hit them all on the head. We'll definitely bring her back, though, again. Eric is the next Frankie Grande. I don't know. But this is a good drink. It was great. I'm glad you guys loved it. Greek Diva, Eric, you need to get yourself dinner. We have No, you guys have 30 minutes to Big Brother. I have 6 minutes. It is on at 8 p.m. for me for some reason. I don't know why. It's not on at 8:30 for me here. It's on at 8 for me. So, if you want spoilers, follow me at Reality Recaps. Unless somehow it changes. Greek Diva says, no, I live in New Jersey. It's on at 8:30. All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I will be back on afterwards either way. Or, okay, how about this? How about we do this? Oh, I shouldn't have gotten rid of Steve's mom. I bet it won't be on since CBS site says 8:30. In 30 minutes, I think. You're waiting too. Okay. All right, well then, if you guys are sure, nobody better blame me if I'm not live tweeting. We can go for a few more minutes then if I don't need to go get ready. Oh, and almost 2,100 likes. You guys are the best. I love all you guys. All right, Greek Diva, you let me know if 60 minutes is on. Brandon, live football Sunday lineup will be delayed in Nashville and parts of Florida only. New start time for Big Brother for Big Brother is 8:36. So due to live football, Sunday lineup will be delayed in Nashville and parts of Florida only. So that's not New York or New Jersey. It is on New Jersey here. 8:30. I mean, none of us know. None of us know. We don't know. All right, here's what I'm going to say. Because none of us know for sure. I'm going to go get ready. And if it's on at 8:30, I'll be live tweeting at 8:30. If it's on in 5 minutes from now, I'll be tweeting in 5 minutes. And then either way, I'll probably see you guys after. Deal? We had a fun show with Steve's mom. If you want us to be able to bring you guys more shows, consider becoming a patron. YourRealityRecaps.com/patron. Or you can make a PayPal donation in the sidebar on the website. And that's that. Check out our website, YourRealityRecaps.com, for all of our Big Brother content. This will be archived at YourRealityRecaps.com/YouNowShows. And thanks so much for loving and supporting. I can't believe we got 4,000 people. I still don't have the swag that I ordered. It's Sunday, so obviously it wouldn't have been delivered. But we need to do something big. I'll think about it during Big Brother. You're welcome, Star Luna. I love you, Crazy Cats. Gadonis, Peas in a Pod, Melissa, Miss Don Draper. You know I love you. Diane, Lois, Cupcakes for Lily. Love you. Jordan, Brandon, Maddie, love all you guys. I'm sure Terry's here in Spring Curls. I love you guys. Nikki Cochran, Gay Question. Oh, our top fans. Thanks so much, Mama Xanax, for being a fan. Debbie, Dougal, Diane, Miss Don Draper, and Angie. You guys are all the best being top fans. Brittany, Zola Kovacs, Crystal, and BB Ghost. It won't be too late. Flippin' Skittle. Thanks for helping Vanessa win. Hey, Shady. Jessica, love you. Elizabeth, Chili, Chrissy, Scarlett. All you guys are the best. All right, I'll see you guys on Twitter either in a few minutes or in a half hour, and I might see you back here after that. Love you guys. Bye for now. Bye, everybody.